So I've been asked to speak about the reconstruction following an excision of a spinal tumor, metastatic tumor. And what are the indications? Simply put, the first indication is if there is a tumor which has resulted in destruction of a significant amount of vertebral body, paraspinal elements, etc., posterior elements, which has resulted in an instability. The second is if there is an iatrogenic instability. You have gone in there, you have excised the tumor, now you've created an anterior column defect which requires to be reconstructed, or you have done a neural decompression in an already pathological anterior vertebral body, then you need to do a neural decompression and then stabilize this patient. The third group of patient is when you do radiotherapy, a number of the tumors will undergo lysis. Now lysis can happen in two ways. In a patient who is undergoing the traditional external beam radiotherapy, the lysis of the tumor is slow, and therefore there is a time for the vertebral body to grow back. And therefore the incidence of pathological fractures is much lesser, only about 5%. However, when you give stereotactic radiotherapy, the lysis of the tumor, it's a high dose single fraction tumor radiotherapy. So the lysis of the tumor is very acute. The vertebral body doesn't get a chance to reform, and therefore the incidence of pathological fractures is fairly high. Now the first question is, how do we decide whether this is an unstable fracture or not? Well, way back in 1997, Taneci presented his work and described instability on the spinal metastasis based upon the involvement of the vertebral body, the amount of involvement of the posterior elements in the lumbar spine and the costotransverse joint in the thoracic spine, and the amount of bone mineral density that the patient had. And if these were the criteria were fulfilled, it was a potential instability, and these patients needed to be prophylactically treated. More recently, the spine tumor study group has come up with the spine instability neoplastic score, which has shown us that based upon the location of the tumor, the amount of pain, it has also integrated the clinical picture into the lesion, the type of lesion the patient has, the radiologic spine alignment, the amount of vertebral body collapse, and the posterolateral involvement. So it has also included the Taneci score into this. The tumors can be stable, indeterminate, or unstable. Stable tumors can be treated simply with radiotherapy. Indeterminate tumors probably require some kind of minimally invasive procedure like a vertebroplasty or a vertebroplasty with a percutaneous fixation. And if it's unstable, obviously you need to do a lot more. Whenever we are thinking of reconstruction for spinal metastasis, you must remember two things. One is you want to restore the stability of the spine back to what it was before the metastasis developed. And for this you require to stabilize the spine today with pedicle screws. The posterior surgery is preferred because the anterior part is usually involved in the disease process. The vertebral bodies are osteoporotic and therefore they may not have good hold, and you can't do multi-level fixation anteriorly. In a tumor setting, the second aspect is dependent upon the amount of vertebral body collapse and destruction. If we know that 90% of tumors involve the vertebral body, and we also know that 80% of the loads are carried by the anterior column, and therefore the anterior column has to be reconstructed in case it is damaged in order to restore the load-bearing capacity of the spine. So restoring spine stiffness, that is the instrumentation that you are doing. The quandary for a spine surgeon is always between doing too much and too little. Often there are multiple adjacent vertebrae which are involved. There is associated osteoporosis secondary to disease. Unlike in a TB, where even if the bone is not too good or etc., you can still get away. Here, the disease even continues after surgical extirpation. And therefore, you have to consider all these things, and therefore short segment fixation is not something which is advisable in a metastatic setting. Posterior multi-level constructs are the procedures of choice. When reconstructing the anterior column, you have multiple choices. Traditionally, autografts and allografts have not been very useful, because subsequently if you are going to give radiotherapy to that area, people are worried that that graft may actually necrose and may not work very well. So what is my preference has always been that I use cages, and typically I put PMMA within the cage to give the support, not bone graft. And what has come today is that if you have detected the disease early, you can do like I have done in a couple of cases here, just do a simple vertebroplasty or a kyphoplasty with fixation. So the take-home message is, instability is the most common indication today for surgery in spinal metastasis. Priyambada mentioned some time back the amount of surgery is increasing. I'm challenging you, why should surgery increase? In fact, the number of surgeries should decrease because stereotactic radiotherapy has come. So the only indication now actually which is left for surgery is instability, not necessarily neurologic deficit, because most neurologic deficits can be treated with a good radiotherapy center. In the tumor setting, instability primarily comes from osseous destruction, not from ligamentous destruction. Robust reconstruction should be planned. Don't think of small things. Here, you want to give this patient one surgery. One surgery which will last his lifetime till he dies, that surgery should exist. Otherwise, you have not done justice to this patient. Posterior stabilization is the preferred option. And in my practice, I like to use a cage which I pack with bone cement, or I use vertebroplasties more and more frequently if we've caught the disease early. Thank you.